spider as well. And we are going to be carrying on now with the 3 armoured zombies. They're all nice and dried and whatnot. So, just noticed I've got some metallic paint on his face or head. No, can't really do much about that. So what I'm going to do is go in with the white scar. And just quite gently go back over on the face, and that should, once that dries, we can go back over with the wash. But now we're going to stick with the white and just, it's not a big dry brush, it's just a case of making sure that there is white that goes onto this scabbard that he's wearing, not scabbard, tabard. That he's wearing. I'm going to do that for each one. Again, all the movements are downwards. We don't want to have any upward movements. We want all the white being on the top of any creases, which is why we're doing it this way. But this is the colour of the tabard. I don't want this to be a highlight colour. I want this to be the actual colour of the tabard. So we're trying to make it look as though it's white and taking those the blue into the recesses where it belongs. There we are. That's another one, and now the third one. I mean, I suppose if you wanted to, you could always go over this in a very pale grey colour, and then go over again with the white to give the highlights. But I'm just doing it this way. Oh, this is good enough. Okay, so that's that done. And next, what I want to do is try and think of what colour I can have underneath the armour for the soft parts. I think what I might have is a little bit of the colour we use for the, a little bit of a brighter variation of the colour that we use for the shadows on the what do you call it, on the stone. So we're going to start off with Calidor Sky, and into that we're going to pop some, when I can find it, oops, I'll just swap my lamp, it won't be a second, Abaddon Black. We just want a little bit of this, we don't want all that much, we just want to darken it slightly. We're not doing the shadow detail. That will do fine. And with this I'm going to change and go into a different brush. It's a slightly finer brush, so I'm going to go from regiment brush into a detail brush. If you can read that. And with that we can do the soft clothing on the arm first of all. There we go. So there we have the first lot of armour done. And now, as I say, I'm going to go into the Rhinox hide. I can get the straps for the armour done using that. There's only that arm that I can see. No, it isn't. I can see it's on that one as well. There we go. Now let's go back to this. Yeah, I painted it metal, that's why I threw myself slightly. And speaking of metal, I missed the metal part of this, so I'll go back and do that now. The metal part I missed here is this armband, or not armband, it's a thingy protector, elbow protector, and the edge of the shield. There we go. That's those done. And now using a bit of black, which is again the Abaddon black. Which is that colour. I'm going to go around and do the belt. The pouch thingy here. One done. And we have another one underway. There's that. And finally, number 3. Like so. And next, what I want to do is the feather in the armour, and for that we're going to be using a little bit of, where are we? Don't want to use that, what's that colour? I'm going to use a little bit of rat skin flesh. I know it sounds like a bit weird, but bear with me. It's not as daft as you think. Just a little bit of that over the feather, and don't allow, and try not to allow the detail to get lost. Apply it thinly, obviously. And this one now. And just a little bit. Not much. Not much. The idea is that we're just doing these shadow areas. And finally, this fella. So just a little bit, we want to get into on the crevices, we don't want to leave any of those out. And then what we're going to do is using see what I'm doing in a second. Flash Git's yellow, very tiny amount of this on the brush. A very, very tiny amount of this. I'm going to have to clean this pot, I think. There we are. That's that. Let me have a little bit more with this. Just to make the feather stand out a little more. Why is it that we seem to miss things? Oh well. Never mind, we have yellow feathers on their helmets. I'm not worried if I get any yellow paint on the helmet because it's going to be gone over again with silver or steel colour, Runefang steel to be more precise. So that's that done. What I want to do now is going back to the Reichland Flesh shade, which is this colour. Give it a shake. We want to go back to the face of this fella and give him another wash. In fact, while we're at it, we can give him all another wash. Okay, and now it's time to highlight all of the armour, and for this we're going to be using a new brush because the two dry brushes we have from Citadel have gone completely shoddy. So I'm going into my War Games collection now and going for, or the Army Painters collection rather, and going for the small dry brush for this. And we are using, as I said, Runefang steel when I can put my grubby little mitts on it. Give it a good shake. Make sure it's all shaken. And as you can see with this one, it's angled slightly. And hopefully that will mean that it gives a much better finish. Everything on the armour is going to get, well, everything on the armour, everything on his body, all the armour on his body is going to get a coating of this. Very, very sparse coating. The shield is going to get a different dry brush. But I'm hoping that this gives a good finish. There we are. Yeah, it's not too bad. Let's try this one now. It's not incredibly dark colour, so I'm not sure whether this is mixing correctly or not. I've just realised I've missed a little bit of I'll leave that to one side for the time being. I've missed a little bit of the with the blue wash that we put on earlier on the bottom of that chap. So I'll have to go back, as I say, and do a little bit more work there, but it's not incredibly difficult to do. It's certainly not something that's the potential of ruining the whole thing just because I've missed something like that. Okay, so that's the the body armour sorted out, and now it's a case of using Auric Armour Gold, which is a really vibrant gold colour. I don't want to use that. I'll use Hassel's Copper. I think I'll use that, Hassel's Copper. I don't want something incredibly vibrant for these because of the zombies. I'll use that and just lightly now. Can't quite work out what it is, but these paints don't seem to want to mix in together at the moment. They still seem to be very, very watery. And we'll see if this works. It's a little better. I'm going to do the same on the handle of the sword. So I don't want an incredibly vivid gold colour for this. So that will do fine. And I think what's happening with this is in fact I know what's happening with this is that all the pigment is falling down to the bottom of the pot. And isn't mixing properly for some strange reason. But it happens. Nothing you can help. What I'm going to have to do is, well, one thing you can do about that is to get a little agitator, like a small ball bearing or something along those lines, but it's got to be like a coating on it to stop it from degrading in the paint, otherwise you'll ruin your paints. What was I doing then? Yes, I know what I was doing. I was getting that, and I was going back to do the underneath of one of these chaps. Now, which one was it? Was it this fella? Well, some parts here that need doing, so it may as well be this fella. It isn't, but while I've got him, if you'll pardon the expression, I'll do him. This guy needs a little more underneath there. And this guy just needs that. And now finally what we're going to do is, and you'll like this bit, don't really know how or why, but you'd like this bit. Using black, again what I'm going to do is the trousers. I'll decide I'm going to do the trousers in black. There's not much of it, so I might as well just do it in a very dark colour, and it will be hidden then quite well. Just a case of trying past all the white. As I said, there's not much of this, not much of the trousers to be seen. And I'm calling them trousers because I don't know what the actual name would be for whatever garments get worn on the legs underneath armour, but trousers seem to be a okay word to use for something, an item of clothing worn on the leg, so that is what I will use. I'm going to go back into the Rhinox hide now and just go over the boots once more in a few places because they didn't really get a good covering. That's in one part, and now here. And is this one okay? Yeah, that one's okay. And there we have it, folks. There's nothing really much to do with these. If you want to, you can mix a little Rhinox hide with the Ushabti bone that we put out earlier, and then going over the boot areas, the top of the boots there, you can put in as a different colour. Yeah. I will do the same on this fellow as well. Okay, just to show it's like a turn up on the boots. Usually they're a different colour to the main body of the boot. There we are. And finally this fella. If you wanted to as well, you could always use this as a highlight colour for the boots, and just give a couple of areas a quick blast, but just like so. You don't need to go overboard with it. There's not much of it that's going to be. And next it's the shield, and for that I'm going to use Warboss Green. And I'm going straight out of the pot for this because there's not much to do on it. It's just a case of colour it in. Just like so. That's one shield done. Oops. And another shield almost done. What I need to do first is just pop in the middle there with that. And finally, third shield done. Now pop in the middle with this first of all, and then Go all over everywhere. Or, to be more accurate, we'll colour in the flat part of the shield. And there we have it. There's our armoured zombies. All that needs to be done now is the bases and give them a coating of purity seal just to protect the paint so it doesn't chip off, and then we can start playing. So next up on the menu are the 3 dwarf revenants. Again, bit of armour, bit of cloth and some axes and some wooden shields. We can get away with doing quite a bit of this in washes again, so that's what we'll be doing in the next video, so join us then, why don't you? Until then, take care, God bless, and bye for now.